We're live. All right. I am here with Davis. He's a fantasy football writer for Fantasy Six Pack and Stochastic.com. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. Because watching your show from time to time, didn't get a whole lot of it, but I was like, oh, dude, I got to draft up the champ. I got to fucking. I want to learn a little bit. I think I'm pretty good, but obviously I didn't win anything like you guys did. So
I got lucky.
Who knows? Be back-to-back champs. Do it.
Dude, that'd be crazy, right? I think if I would have maxed out the big dog or the best ball last year, I think I would have won it because I advanced 5 at 11 on Best Ball Mania last year. Did you do a lot of? I went 5 for 11, and then I barely lost the semis to get to the finals.
I did not have any in the finals for BBM. I had finals for puppies.
Okay.
Funny thing is my BBMs that missed. And no excuses on my side, but I'm gonna say that I got pretty fucked. Like I had 2 teams that were like 150 something in the semis.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it.
No, I had the same thing happen to me.
Yeah, and then both those teams, when I calculated it, were worth like $5 to $8 grand a piece because they both had Amon-Ra, Rashad Penny. Both the teams that got knocked out had him.
That's what happened to me on my BBM3 or BBM2 last year. Like the team that didn't win it, that would have been in there would have been either scored more or got second place. And it's like one of my 5 teams that made it to the playoffs could have won a lot of money, which is still crazy.
It was absolutely painful. So it is what it is. I just have to accept it.
Yeah. So I had 13 teams in the semifinals on DraftKings, and what's it called? I lost all of them except for my worst team. My lowest scoring team is the one that advanced.
Okay.
So you never know, because I had one that scored 205 points. But the team that had the Stone Cold Nuts, they had T. Higgins, who had a 30 or 40 point game that week. Just blew me out of the water.
Yeah, and I think what sucked the most is I had a lot of those guys. I had the Mark Andrews. I had the guys that would have made it, majority of guys I had have made it to the finals. And it's you just got unlucky. And then I had other brackets where they only had 135, 140 as a scoring leader, and they made it. I'm just you play the what if game. You're human at that point.
Oh, absolutely. I went back and tallied how many points I would have scored.
So bad.
Yeah. Alrighty.
So this is your last BBM.
This is my last BBM3.
How many do you have in total?
How many lineups? Last time I checked, I was just over 1,100, and I was 4 days ago, so I'm probably close to 1,200 right now.
No, I was asking for BBM2, not just in life. Oh my god.
1,100 this year, but BBM2, like I was saying earlier, I only did 11 total drafts last year, so probably we can look at that real quick. I'm pretty sure. Dude, I've been smashing drafts since February, March.
I guess when you have that kind of income, you might as well.
It's you're
not gonna just max out the Mastiff. You're not.
I'm not touching that. That payout, I don't really like that payout.
Oh my god!
So what is it? Best ball season. Is it this one?
No, it's gonna be Best Ball Mania.
This is when I lost the.
No, this is results. This is the results. I was talking about how many you have left in this year.
Oh yeah, no. From this year, I've maxed out everything so far this year, except for the Mastiff. Yeah.
God damn. I couldn't imagine. I'm close, but I'm not that close.
I'm just literally using the money I make from my job to do this, because whatever I made, we just put it in investments, and it's just paying everything we need.
Fair enough. You have it. You have it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was my team from last
year. That was 131. I can understand that one not making it out. Right?
Yeah, I agree. It agrees. It sucks, but it's I had a lot of players that popped off the week before. So I had Amon-Ra, Cup. Myers had a couple touchdowns that last game.
It's that Ridley pick, man. It's that Ridley pick.
Gronk had 30 points on DK, so I don't know what the point value would have been. Yeah, that Ridley pick did screw me a little bit.
All right, I'm ready to kick this off.
All right,
let's do this.
Sorry. Last one. Enter. Yes. Alrighty. Put that right next to StreamYard. There we go. Yeah, my audience is a little slow on Fridays, so they'll trickle in. They'll trickle in. Oh.
No, my cat wants to hang out. Yes, buddy.
Yeah, let's pass that behind me. Are you a cat guy or do you have some dogs?
Mostly cats. No dogs at the moment. I like dogs. I really do. It's just that I'm very lazy, and dogs require all the attention, all the love, all the care.
So much work. I just got my my first dog in like 10 years.
Okay.
And it definitely is a lot of work. There you go. We got the 3 pick.
Okay. Now he's got to pray for one of the top 2s to follow us.
Yeah. Or do you like to go with your first round pick?
God, I you know, it's weird. I liked either being top 2 or bottom 2. Or bottom 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the middle picks right now with the rankings jacked up, and I'm trying to pivot hard towards what I want to do, what I like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a little bit more like either it's JT, CMC, I guess Jefferson or Cooper. But after that, I'm just like, I'm taking Saquon. I'm taking Saquon all day.
Okay.
I like everything else after.
We could get crazy if would you want to go Saquon at 3?
No, I think you take Justin Jefferson.
Okay,
I think we take Jefferson or Cobb. I think it just makes sense too. Easier stacks. It's, Saquon won't really fall to us, but it is what it is. You just have to accept it.
I would just say we can go like a crazy build if you wanted.
I mean, might as well try to win them, right?
All right. Let's
see.
I don't know how many people are out there with Saquon, Javonte Chubb team. I don't know. Yep, looks like Jefferson's going to be our guy here. This will be my second Justin Jefferson team.
Really?
Actually, let's go Cup. I don't have any Cup.
Okay, great Cup.
And I'm a big fan of Mike Williams, and get him.
The stack is so strong to get. If you can get Mike Williams, if you can even get like Gerald Everett or Josh Palmer, like those are really nice to have.
Yeah, I agree.
So Allen Robinson's.
Yeah. So you like Gerald Everett?
I took a lot of them in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I've been skipping him, and not because I don't believe in him. It's just because I've been seeing guys I like more there, right? Like, I like grabbing more of the receivers and dumpster diving a little bit further for Noah Fant, things like that.
I'm a big Hayden Hurst guy myself.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't care for Gerald Everett. I'm a big Chargers fan, but we drafted a guy last year named Trey McKitty, and we had Donald Parham, who they were really high on.
Oh, God,
and Gerald Everett couldn't beat out Tyler Higbee or Will Dissly.
Yeah.
For it makes me a little nervous sometimes to draft that kind of guy.
I think he could have beaten him out, but he suffers just from injuries all the time, right? So like the problem with Everett, it's like, how many games do you really get? Do you get 6 to 8 games where he's on the field, 10 games on the field, and he only spikes for you 3 to 4 if you're lucky? Yeah, and realistically, what is his spikes? I don't think he's ever had a 2 TD game. So
maybe one, the most.
And then those weapons on the team are so good that you're hoping this guy that is probably the 5th option, right?
Right.
To get 2 touchdowns, which is super unlikely, right? Austin Eckler is probably going to get 2.
Just why he's still here. I have a 69% ownership.
Oh, my God. God damn. I don't have that much of Najee. I look at Najee and I go, that's a nice floor. I like that floor. That's cool.
Well, that's what I thought about JT last year. I obviously I was huge on Derrick Henry, but it's like I had a lot of JT as my second option, and I just like guys who are in the first round. I don't need to in my head win it in the first round. I just need to be able to have a nice, safe floor.
Fair enough. So my thing with JT is, like you said, it's the safe floor situation. It's a lot of these guys. I actually think a lot of people that are being overlooked right now is like Joe Mixon.
I agree.
Right? Like I think Joe Mixon is like I tweeted this a little while ago. It's like, wow, man, like all I ever see tweets for Joe Mixon are, hey, he has a Samaji P. Ryan stole some touches, right? That's the only tweet I ever see of Joe Mixon. It's never anything positive. It's never about how the line got better, how his boxes are not going to be stacked. It's always somebody stole his, stole a little bit from him, and I'm like, okay, that's nothing. Like, why do I? That's not a thing.
All right. How do you want to? What's your go-to here?
Oh God.
A lot of my guys aren't here, so the person I usually
would say maybe like AJ Brown. I think we just dumpster for AJ Brown.
Okay, I like AJ.
Like we just
I liked him really early on. I don't know why I fell off of him, but especially because I was getting him like at the 2-3 turn. I don't know. I don't know why I fell off of him.
I fell off of him because I just didn't believe on Jalen too much. But the camp news has been great.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's like pseudo hyped, so people are really taking him.
Yeah.
So like I see him going before T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So let's say we were in on T. Higgins, I would just like wait. He's over like there he is. Like I like Tyreek Hill a lot too. So all these guys are there. But I think we just get Mike and we take the stack.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not as you can see, 1 and 0% of Keenan Allen. I just feel like at some point he's gonna get overtaken by Palmer.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Everything I
watch
a lot. Palmer. Yeah.
Everything
I watch about Palmer. Like I watch like all of his highlights. I watch anything that is on tape on him. I watch it.
Yeah, I mean he was really good last year. I mean I had this.
He had like 1 or 2 drops that made me really mad, but like other than that, like.
So one of my favorite things that we could have done on this team earlier is if we would have taken Justin Jefferson is to stack Palmer and Osborne.
Yeah.
To be like one of these threes is going to be the 2. Like
right.
It's a fun game to do. I did that with Van Jefferson this year earlier too. Like I was taking all the threes and I called them Threes Company, just like running it out there.
Yeah.
All right. So we have we have a really strong receiving core. That's actually pretty gross.
Yeah.
Those guys are all like could get a touchdown every week kind of guys.
At least, yeah.
No.
I don't tip. Do you do a lot of zero RB, or do you just play with what you got?
I play what I got.
Yeah.
I think coming into a draft expecting
with a previous,
yeah, it's just gonna kill you because you're always gonna try to pivot into things, and it just doesn't work.
I agree.
I think this year, I've said this probably on other streams numerous times. It's I think this will be one of the years that Hero RB just crushes it.
Right? I'm a big Hero RB guy. Yeah,
Hero RB is just gonna fucking Shrek it or dual RB.
I have a lot of Hero RB because I obviously get a lot of Najee. It's like Najee, and then I'm smashing wide receivers from like round 2 to like round 6, 7, and then come back with like a Devin Singletary. At the time, I was getting Dameon Pierce, a little bit later, but I saw him go. I think it was 82, which is insane.
That's too much. I would rather grab like Madison, Rashad White, Breece Hall, like those guys
have a huge upside.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs and Gibson, like you can hate them both all you want, but you're gonna tell me one of those guys is not gonna put up moderate RB2, RB1 numbers? That's ridiculous. Just play the game. Because realistically, if you go 5 receiver early and then you go 4 running back late, like your team, it looks like this. It looks like Gibson, Jacobs, possibly Montgomery, and Ramondre Stevenson, and that feels fine. Huh?
It's not for me. I'm not a big on a couple of those guys, but I'm okay with it. But I prefer not.
I think the value is just so good though. That's 6th through 9th pick, and you have 5 stud guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Zeke? Looks like you hate him.
I absolutely hate Zeke. To be honest, I reset my rankings, and he shouldn't even be here. To be honest, I put him in the 200s, so I don't ever see his name.
Sheesh. You wouldn't take him at a team like this, though.
Honestly, I'd rather go Herbert. I honestly wouldn't even care if we went Judy.
I can't stand Judy. I
really don't care for him either. But it's like if I was to choose,
I will honestly like. I know freaking Eagles. James made crap for me this. I would probably go straight into Bateman Metcalf. and we just go
Metcalf?
5
Yeah.
deep wide receiver. Like we
I
grab
like it.
Bateman on the turn and then Metcalf on that turn,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
just go 5 deep shot touchdown guys like
yeah,
all
yeah.
day.
I like it.
Because
They
if you
just
hate
brought
the
in-
running backs here, then you just grab the receivers here, and then you move on.
Yeah. And we're gonna be solid at wide receiver. So you'd rather get Metcalf versus Amon-Ra?
Yeah. I know people like Amon-Ra,
I
but
do.
the excuses,
He won me $1 million, so there's a little bias.
Fair. He would have won me a lot of money too. But the hate that the love that Amon-Ra gets should be the same hate that he gets for like DK gets from, for Drew Lock. Are we really stoked about Jared Goff? Like, I feel like Jared Goff kind of sucked. And if Jared Goff would have played week 17, I guarantee Amon-Ra doesn't get those yardages.
Right.
Like, people forget that, like, he wasn't the quarterback for Amon-Ra's big week. It wasn't Jared Goff.
It's true.
It was a backup. Like,
that's true.
I'd rather have Elijah Moore, because at least Moore just is straight up just a better player. Why am I taking the lesser valued guy with a possibly worse quarterback? So I don't know. I take Metcalf here all the time, and I know that's a joke the Eagles is giving me crap for, but I love him as wide receiver 5. But I'd also consider guys like Darnell Mooney, but that O-line kind of sucks.
Yeah, I'd rather go Metcalf.
Yeah.
Brandon
Cooks is a cool pick too, but I don't know.
I have so much Nico that it's like I'm playing a little bit that, not that Cooks can't have a good season, but if there's a dominant alpha, then it's going to be Nico.
So now we're sitting 5 wide receiver deep.
Yeah, now we're good.
So who do you think is QB proof? Not receiver wise. I'm sorry. I mean to say quarterbacks that you would take naked. Who's your naked quarterbacks?
My naked quarterbacks? Well, obviously Lamar, Kyler, and honestly, all the next 4 tight end or quarterbacks.
Okay. Would you consider Jameis Winston a naked quarterback? He's got 3 weapons. He's got 3 of probably the best weapons in the league right now.
Yeah, you could take him. That's tough because
Kirk Cousins.
He gives you so much more upside if you take his teammates. Yeah. Like if you take at least one of them.
Joe Burrow, you think he's a naked QB? Do you feel like you can grab him without having his
somebody did to me last night. I had both. I drafted Chase and Higgins, and someone took Burrow, and I had Hurst. I just wanted the whole. I also wanted the whole team, and I was like, I'm curious what this guy thought he was going to do.
I see it a lot. Like everyone says, the runners are the only naked QBs.
No,
but I look at a lot of these guys, and I go, I would be
you
okay.
Technically could go anybody naked, but it's like.
I mean, Tom Brady basically was great naked. Right? I stack quarterbacks than I do stack the team for the quarterback sometimes. Right? Okay. If I grab the weapons, if I grab 3 weapons on that team, there's no reason to grab the quarterback.
Yeah,
right? Because now you're too deep.
Well, to be fair, I had the team that won. I had Tom, Leonard Fournette, Godwin, and Gronkowski. But
you didn't grab all the receivers, so that makes sense,
right? Yeah.
Like imagine if you grab all the receivers and then you grab them, because those were single entities. I would say Leonard Fournette is a single entity on his own.
Yeah, I agree. The hate that was on him last year was crazy.
Dude, he was free. I was grabbing a ton of them.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Cam Akers is still here, by the way. I have 0 of him, but I'm not ashamed to get him out here if he lasts 5 picks. I'm
okay with it. I would grab him. I think the hate on him is really strong right now, and what are we risking at pick 70?
Right, he's got a 47 ADP. Like that's kind of a steal too.
Yeah, we have a strong pick here. We have 5. Like there's no wide receiver we can get right now that helps us.
Right. No, it's not adding anything to the team right now for sure.
Brandon Ayuk would be the only pick I can think of.
So he went off the board. Let's see here.
Oof, this is all rough.
Yeah.
I
guess we just do that on the board. Tony Pollard's out there, just hit a high upside.
No Jacobs, no one's there.
This Jacobs further back.
I mean, we could grab a quarterback here. We got 6 seconds, so
what do we got?
Trey Lance?
No.
Oh, never mind. Nope,
we're getting David Montgomery, I'm sure. Darnell Mooney. Okay, cool.
Oh, actually, that's not terrible.
That's not the worst. I don't know how we didn't take David Montgomery, but we'll take it.
Oh, because of your rankings, I think had him higher up. It's going to take over something in your ranking.
I don't know. I thought I already said it. So Trey Lance went.
We have one more pick. I would say let's see what running. I would just try to grab a running back. Who do we have here?
Montgomery now is
Sanders, Pollard.
It's so ugly. What do you think about CEH?
I don't like CEH. I don't know if he does anything. I grabbed McKinnon at the end, and I just think it's funnier that way.
Okay.
I think we can probably grab Montgomery, or actually, we could grab a quarterback. Let's grab a quarterback. Let's grab like a naked quarterback play. I'm thinking maybe Dak. I like Dak a lot.
Okay.
I know it's a little early here, but you're not getting them back most likely.
Oh, we should have paired that up with our tight end. That would have been nice.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Wait, where's Dak at? 90? Do you think we get Schultz here and maybe Dak?
Yeah, we get Schultz. Grab Schultz. Grab Schultz. Come back. We're gonna play. I think this is what a 2 tight end team at this point. Then we grab Schultz and like someone a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Honestly, we might grab if Dak falls to us, right, and then we pair it up with Knox, just to have the a touchdown floor.
So what running backs are you considering now? Since we're kind of boned at RBs.
Well, Dameon Pierce is still out there, I'm sure. I'm a huge Pierce fan. I guess I'm betting on the Texans to be a lot better than they're projected to be.
Penny? Did you consider Penny?
Yeah. That's a good pick.
Penny, I think Kenneth Walker's out, right? Singletary, Pierce. Walker's out.
We're still good. We're still good.
You wouldn't consider Ramondre or Paris?
Yeah, I like those guys. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not opposed to going Harris right now over Ramondre.
I liked a lot of Harris. I have so much of him right now, but I am not gonna lie, I am having a little bit of buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with Ramondre is that if he does take that pass catching role, like straight up takes it, it looks really bad for Harris's output as getting past 1,000 yards. Because he didn't get past 1,000 yards last year, so you're relying on him headbutting his way through.
Yeah.
Chase Edmonds.
Yeah. I heard some reports that I have 0%, but don't judge me. It's because I'm typically not drafting these running backs.
No, well, neither am I. But I feel at this point
we absolutely have to.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, it's not that like I would avoid, because obviously I have like a couple shares of Ramondre. I have a lot of these running backs early in the earlier drafts, like the big board and stuff like that. So it's like I kind of don't want to.
If you're looking at the draft, like it's kind of weird. You got guys with a balanced team: 1-2-2-2, 1-3-3, 3-4, 2-4. Like it's actually kind of fun to look at. Holy crap! We might get Dak back.
I think we might. Let's see what's on the board. Yeah, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady in front of him. Yeah, Dak might be
still
free.
There.
Yeah. 8 picks away. We're 0-6-1, baby.
The receiving core looks so strong. It's so bad strong.
And honestly, the receiving core to pick up doesn't look great. So,
who would you want to grab as your 7th then? We're gonna go Nico. It's just gonna grab Nico for the brand.
You know what? The only reason I think we follow each other now is because Eagles said something about you with Nico, and I said, "Oh, there's somebody else that loves Nico," and that's when I started following you.
Dude, I had so much Nico last year.
Yeah,
I was like souped on him. I was super on him because of Tyrod Taylor. I was like, Tyrod loves targeting like tall guys, right?
Yeah,
tall guys on the sideline. And Nico fit all of that. But the problem with Nico is he took an injury early on.
And
we were kind of sitting there. He's unrefined, but I think he gets there.
I think he's been working on it.
Yeah, he's really unrefined, but that's fine, right? He's a 3rd round pick kind of guy. Like, it's cursed. Which is usually wide receiver hell is 3rd rounds, but I think he can get there. I have 40%.
We should totally get Dak here. This guy already has a quarterback, so we should get.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get him, unless this guy's a D hole and he doesn't get.
Or doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah. All right.
How do you feel about Gibson?
What's up, Gibson?
No, not right now, but like in general.
Yeah, we're getting Prescott here. But yeah.
Do you think he's going down? Do you think he's not worth the pick 90s that he's at right now?
It's so weird because I like we were having that conversation earlier. I think he has the talent, like it depends on how we feel about Ron Rivera because I think he's uber talented and can easily he has a huge floor if he was able to play.
I wrote a thread on this a while ago about like Ron Rivera's timeshare and that we should have just known this coming in the year before.
Yeah,
and it's like he's gonna get 200-ish touches.
Yeah,
what that 200-ish touches can be all over the place, right? Like I don't think I was ever excited about having
97.
Jonathan Stewart. Like I've never been excited about that. I think we just take Gibson here, man.
I totally agree. See, with this team, yeah.
I think we take Gibson. Hope that Devin Single comes back to us.
And honestly, we're playing a lot of the NFC East games, so there's going to be a lot of a lot of game stacks.
God, Darnell Mooney at 70 is so good.
Yeah.
If you were going to say we reach on Bateman, but he's the wide receiver one for the team with Lamar Jackson. Like Lamar Jackson's so good at passing. People don't want to admit it, but he was really good. He didn't have good numbers because of Marquise Brown dropping the pass.
I agree, and he was hurt right off the rip too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I think that's a guy that I think people are sleeping on. I know that my buddies talk about Kyler a lot, and I'm like, I'm not sold on Kyler like I am sold on Lamar Jackson.
I'm okay with Kyler because like he's not going to like kill your teams, and he has huge upside.
I think if you look at Kyler's stats the last 2 seasons, it's like it starts off hot, right? Like it's full Cardinals, like,
and then Call of Duty comes out and it goes down the drain.
It just falls apart, man. Like I have no idea what it is.
It really is funny that his if you look at his stats all the way up to when the next Call of Duty comes out, it really does go down. I really don't think it has anything to do with that other than like just random injuries and like play, but it is kind of crazy.
I think teams just start to figure out him. They start to test him out more. Like they really test him. They're just like,
I don't think Cliff Kingsbury's the greatest coach. I think is really the issue.
Oh, okay, now we're out of RBs.
Yeah.
So what's left on the board? I usually like Melvin Gordon, but I don't like Melvin Gordon now.
Okay.
I think we have to take guys like Darrell Henderson, Rashad White down the road. I think those are the picks that we have to grab. Yeah. I don't like Spiller. I think because Eckler has kind of talked up everybody around him. I think Tyler Algier is someone I think I would pick.
Yeah.
He's not great.
I should say a lot. I have like about what you're supposed to have.
That's good though. I mean, like he kind of has a job already.
I agree. So my average ADP of Brian Robinson was 185 at 25%.
Same.
See, that's where we were talking about Antonio Gibson. I'm like, well, they have been talking a lot of Brian Robinson.
But I think they're talking about like him being good. Doesn't mean him.
I don't think Brian Robinson is like even half as talented as Antonio Gibson though. So like I'm okay with, obviously like a late selection of Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. I think if you're drafting Brian Robinson, he would have had to be on a team that is he's just like David Montgomery, right? He does everything just right.
Right.
And that's it. Yeah. And if you think Dave Montgomery's like a good football player, then that's a totally different story, right? Like you're like, okay, great. This is Dave Montgomery. He does everything just okay.
Yeah. And I was only drafted because he was like going to have a starting, just, has a shot at starting. Maybe he's like a touchdown vulture. At this
I think he's like Mike
pick,
Tolbert.
Yeah. I agree.
I think he plays the Mike Tolbert role, the Cam Newton role.
Do you think Sam Howell takes over the job at all?
No.
You don't think so?
No way. I don't think so. I think Carson Wentz is good.
He's good enough.
I actually like Wentz a lot.
I do too. I don't like the shade that he got from everybody else.
I mean,
7 interceptions is not a bad year for a quarterback.
No. Dude, the wide receiver core, the funniest stat that I tell people, I was like, outside of Pittman, who got 400 yards on that team? And then one's like, well, didn't. I'm like, no, nobody did. No one on that team got 400 receiving yards.
Nobody on the team was open.
Yeah, they were absolutely bad. I remember just watching him throw to the end zone, and Zach Pascal just could not get the job.
Or Doolin. Doolin was okay, but
here's the thing: Doolin is still on this team, and he got beat out by a guy that's always been injured and the new rookie.
Yeah.
So how good are you?
Good though. Yeah.
But yeah, that's fine, right?
Yeah. But I'm just saying it shouldn't be a docket on Wentz at all.
No, and that O-line actually wasn't good.
So are we going Henderson White?
Yeah, we'll get Henderson White.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good team. And that O-line actually took a step back. That O-line actually is one of the worst pass protecting O-lines in the league.
I agree.
They're great run blockers, but they're terrible pass protectors. I think they ranked at the bottom across the board. So I don't know. I feel like he got a lot of crap for no real reason.
I agree. I feel like they're going to be either the third place team or the second place team. I don't think they're winning that. I think Jaguars take the division. Titans come in second, then Colts, and then same record, but maybe they lost a division to the Texans.
Would you consider going like Jahan Dotson right now and just finishing out this weird division? Like get Dotson and
did he go?
I don't think he did. Did he? No way. This early? Yeah,
no, there he is.
Like Dotson and grabbing like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, we can finish up with the Wentz. Yeah, I like it. We should have tried to get. Look how much Palmer I have. Like nice little 53%.
So much Palmer.
Yeah. Well, see, I valued him at this area, and so I would get him like in the 12th round this entire time, and then as soon as they talked about him on the Underdog YouTube, he shot up like crazy.
Palmer is that trio I was talking about, the Three's Company.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I used to take those guys, and I would take Jalen Tolbert. And I was talking to a friend. I was like, 2 months ago, I was like, I'm moving Jalen Tolbert ahead of KJ Osborne, and they were like, no way, you're crazy. I was like, he's just gonna go up. I'm taking him now. I'm taking all the Tolbert. I got like 13% of them.
Nice.
And then he just rocketed to like 110, and I'm just like, yep, I was 2 months in advance on this one, guys. Like, you should have just bought. Same thing for Saquon. I was telling anyone, like, grab Saquon now. Like, if you want to draft this early like May, June, I was like, grab Saquon. Grab him in the second while you can. Grab him while you can grab CMC. Because it's not going to happen anymore. And now Saquon's basically a first rounder.
Remember when I said my audience may be a little bit boomerish?
Yeah.
I'm the boomer here. I was not streaming on YouTube. I was streaming on Twitch and Twitter. And I must have misclicked. I
told you in the private chat.
Make any sense that nobody's here.
I messaged you in the private chat, dude. I was like, let's double check that, buddy.
Oh. You should have said that. I didn't
want to interrupt your mojo.
You're good. I'm like, man, why is there nobody here? They're always I got some loyalists out here.
I was just stream it out late.
Oh my goodness!
We can talk about the picks after.
Yeah, we got to now. Well, I'll put out. I get, since it's on StreamYard, I can upload the whole thing to.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I just feel bad because I know Dennis and Derek out here. They're always in my chat.
Well, I was like, when we finish, just do a second little quick stream of just recapping the picks. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna get Madison and Tyler. I'd be stoked.
I'd be okay with that.
It's not great, but it's not bad.
No, yeah, for sure. The Atlanta team, they're gonna be fairly decent because they're gonna be running like this kind of weird option type stuff going on.
No Gainwell, I noticed. That's interesting.
It's not intentional. I have a lot of Gainwell. See, a lot of the players I have like huge stands on in this, or zero stands on. I have them in a lot of the pre-best ball, or not pre-best ball, pre-draft.
I think. Question for you:
Yeah.
What format do you think is harder, DraftKings or UD?
Which is harder?
Yeah, to win in. Do you think what would be the harder game to win?
I kind of smashed both last year. Honestly, I would say DraftKings, because like the uncertainty of what someone next to you is going to do is more than I can almost tell you exactly what everybody's going to do in Underdog. They're so predictable. It's like a lot of people play like the ADP game on here, and they don't reach too much. So you can kind of play against them in a weird way.
Oh, yeah, I do that. That's why I grabbed Saquon round 1 now. Yeah. Because I know Mixon's going to go round 2.
Yeah.
If I grab Mixon, I'm not going to see.
That's what I was telling you earlier. I was like, I've been grabbing like Chase, hoping that maybe Henry or that Najee falls to the second round.
Yeah.
Like just you never know.
People,
kind of
and people are there are super influenced by like real like just news that just randomly occurred, right?
Yeah,
People are like, oh my god, like I heard, Alexander Madison had like explosive diarrhea. Like I'm gonna drop him 10 spots today.
Do you want to go Gainwell or do you want to go? Because we have
this is tough. I think we grab Gainwell. I like Gainwell more than Madison. I think it's weird to do that.
That's fine.
Do you think? What do you think?
Because we need points on the team, and Gainwell's going to be playing. We don't know what the offense is really going to look like for Madison. Yeah,
Madison always is. I feel like is secondary.
Yeah,
very secondary.
And with this team, we need more now than we do.
Yeah, what ifs? Yeah. So I think Tyler Algier. We go with Tyler Algier here.
Tyler Algier, yeah.
I know for a lot of people though, they'll look at like, yeah, and it's I usually drop people on bad news. I go like, oh my god, KJ Osborne has like slightly bad news today. Like, come on, get him, guys. He's gonna be a whole round down now. Like, dude, UD is so yeah, it is. It's extremely predictable.
Yeah.
If someone gets good news, you're just not. Oh damn, well that sucked.
Yeah.
We can grab Herbert. I know you're. I'm into Herbert. I think he's gonna be possibly doing well.
I'm a little bit into Herbert, I guess you could say.
Dude, actually, so two things I want to touch on because I know that you do this, but I actually think UD is harder because PPR I think is a lot harder to play around.
Yeah.
Because the spike weeks obviously matter there, but they matter in a different way, right? Getting 100 yards, measuring, PPR is a lot harder than standard. I feel like a lot of guys can't measure standard. Derek is here. He said, "Fuck you."
Fuck YouTube. No, Derek. That was my fault. Derek, it was my bad.
Yeah, that was actually on somebody here.
That was all me. I put it on Twitter instead of YouTube. I must have just fat fingered the wrong button there. Was that a strawberry apricot Red Bull? Are you drinking Red Bull?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm drinking an Izzy. That's my one. We had leftover like soda we took from another place.
Okay.
All back.
Love Madison, but not a handful. Sorry, Derek. Yeah, and I'm drinking a strawberry or the pink Starburst flavor. They have like little pouches, 20 calories or something like that. So,
let me see.
How you doing tonight, Derek? Doing good? No, we actually got Cooper Kupp at the 103.
Excited to, but here's the thing. It's like a really fun 103, right? Like it's Kupp plus Mike Williams. Like that's what you want. Like if you look at the receiving core, it just feels absolutely like monstrous. It's like these guys are all going to be fun to have.
Yeah, it's gonna be the fun team, fun last team to look at. You know what I mean?
Actually, I think we're at the end, right? I would say
we still got 9 picks.
Yeah, we still have Dak.
Oh, Nico went. I didn't think about it.
That's fine. We have 7 receivers. What are we gonna do? There's no reason to grab an 8. I think we can grab like Pat Fryermuth. Like I love Pat F. I think it's gonna be okay. We can also grab Gerald Everett too. I think Pat F is gonna be more relevant though.
I agree. It's kind of weird that he's been falling too lately.
And there's really no reason. Like the thing about Pat F, he had probably one of the best tight end seasons we've had.
Yeah.
Besides obviously Kyle Pitts and Evan Ingram's rookie year.
And if Mitch is the quarterback, it was Jimmy Graham, but he targeted Graham a ton.
I mean, Trey Burton too. Even Trey Burton had like a 600-yard, like 8 TD season under Mitch. He posted that stat line, and people were like, "Well, what does that mean?" I was like, "That means the motherfucker throws to his goddamn tight end." Like Trubisky is like tall ass dudes. Like it's easy. Like I take Pat F all I can. I have like 30% of Pat F or 20-30% of Pat F, and I'm fine with it.
I had him a lot again in the preseason.
There you go.
Preseason, but
we could grab Hayden here. I think it's a little early though.
Yeah,
what quarterbacks are left on the board? Trevor Lawrence. That's not bad.
At 140, yeah, it's 20 picks past ADP.
I mean, you want him on the year 2 step up, and it's the same division.
And we can get Zay Jones. Oh no, we're not going to get Zay.
No. We can grab him and Evan Ingram.
I would say we can grab Ingram this next turn, probably.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
We grab Ingram here.
Yeah.
And then
little before, but
then I guess our final picks would be 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
I'm typing Friar, but he took it. I think at that point we could grab, because this is probably a 2 tight end team because we probably need a running back again.
Yeah.
I think Raheem Mostert's a guy I'm grabbing. Separate bye week. He's a separate bye week. I don't think it hurts us at all. And then people might laugh, but I would probably consider J.D. McKissick, right, to hedge against Gibson and Robinson. I mean, they share the same, but they have a different role. But that's kind of weird.
Even if we have Gibson?
Yeah, because it's not like you took Gibson early, right? We took Gibson at basically pick 100. But I would grab Mostert first. I would grab Ingram here and grab Mostert later.
Yeah.
Just get the stack. Because the way I look at Gibson, it's they're splitting, right?
Right.
And I look at him the same way I looked at like Devin Singletary and like Zach Moss last year. Like, well, they're both at pick 100 to 200.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what's gonna happen, and it feels bad, but it's also different. These ambiguous back teams, like running back teams, they've paid out. ETR did a video on this about a month and a half ago.
I saw it.
You could have made out by doing that. And yeah, it's technically on paper minus EV, but we're not trying to win through running back anyways. We're trying to get whoever the case is and be unique.
Did you watch them draft the FFPC game the other day?
I watched some of it. It was funny. Yeah. It was funny. Those guys are so good, man.
Yeah, they do well. Oh, D-Weiss, you're in here? D-Weiss is in here. I'm sniping.
Yeah, apparently he sniped us. On Friar mode.
Oh, man.
Say Jones. That's fine. We were going to grab him anyways.
Nah.
This team is probably going to be like a 3-6-7-2.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, this is like a 3-6-7-2.
What are your thoughts on Hassan Haskins? I'm a big proponent of his, obviously.
I don't really know. I think it's fine. I just don't know what to do with these backups. A lot of these guys, like, unless I see them in a particular 2 role,
yeah,
I'm just like, they're all pop shots, man. Like, who knows?
Right. It's just like, I obviously have a lot of Henry, so I'm like hedging myself a little bit. Yeah. But it's like, if Henry was to go down, who's the main, like, I know they have another guy there, but Haskins plays more like Henry than Chestnut and whoever the other guy was.
I mean, who was that running back last year that kept catching passes? Was it like Westbrook or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think right here I'm taking Mostert. How do you feel about Marlon Mack? You don't think he does anything this year?
I think he's useless.
No, I have a lot of them early on the season. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's for. I mean, and I could be completely wrong. It's just because I have Dameon Pierce goggles on.
No, and I think that's fair. I think I kind of wish that Pierce wasn't already so high when the season started, right? He started off at like 130, 140.
I have him some match. I think I have I can pull up my exposures on here real quick. Not on here, but on.
You want to take the good news on Jeff Wilson or Trey Sermon, whoever the RB2 is for the.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that might be better than McKissick, right? I do McKissick just to kind of be different, but I think the pick here is either like Trey Sermon.
I like Trey a lot more.
Or Jeff Wilson.
I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah. Do you like Jeff Wilson over Trey, or?
I think I like Jeff Wilson, but I heard Trey's been getting some good news. Like right now, I'd probably go Raheem Mostert into Trey Sermon.
Raheem Mostert into Trey Sermon.
Because you got to think about it like this.
Yeah. Raheem has like huge spike week upside, and
so absolutely, he's a burner, man.
Yeah.
If you get only 3 games from him that are good, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's all we needed. And we know the talent's there. Oh, there you go. Got beat us on that one. So I guess we're getting Trey Sermon here.
Yeah.
You could hedge. We could take both.
Yeah. We could. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
I would rather grab Trey Sermon with Jeff Wilson together than J.D. McKissick by himself.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we know one of those guys is going to be a 2. This is like, you're not spending anything on it. At least you don't feel dumb doing it with McKissick, right? Like you do McKissick, you're like, well, I have Gibson. That feels goofy.
Yeah, and
but,
especially
like,
if for some reason like Brian Robinson was like the 3-down back, you know.
Yeah, you feel absolutely stupid about it.
Yeah,
and to be fair, and we know this that Carson Wentz doesn't really throw to running backs anyways.
That is right.
Jordan practice Thursday.
I'm glad that somebody else knows that. You'd be surprised how many people don't understand that Carson Wentz was not a great, you know, person for Nyheim Hines there. Well, and now with like Matt Ryan there won't be as many checkdowns still, but it still will be a feature.
I think the problem with Nyheim Hines, and that was that it was Nyheim Hines, like, right? He wasn't always on the field. Actually, I think the guy that you're gonna have to, when people say that he doesn't throw to running backs, they're looking at the wrong team. They're looking at the Colts when they should be looking at the Jets. Sorry, not Jets, but the Eagles, right? When he was an Eagle, he didn't really have running backs to throw to. He had Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, like really stone-handy guys.
Yeah.
And I think he just developed the ability not to. But I think when he had Darren Sproles, he might have thrown to him a little bit more.
I can't remember.
But it's just the team itself just didn't have it. So he probably just never developed that habit.
Yeah.
Because he's so used to having stone hands. You know,
and when Phillip was there, all he did was check it down to Nyheim.
Yeah. No, he made money.
Yeah.
He made money all day. All right. So we have one pick left. I think this is a Wentz pick, right?
Yeah, I got him. I already got him queued.
Yeah, I think this is Wentz.
Again, sorry to everybody. I apologize. I was the idiot that put it on Twitter instead of YouTube for some reason. I should probably even take it off of Twitter. Just sometimes I do that just to have them all on there.
We'll go over it and then call it a day from there.
Yeah. I apologize. I was like, man, it is a slow day, and that makes sense. You're not on YouTube today? Oh, sorry, Dennis. Oh, I feel stupid.
Yes. God, kissing is so late. He's so dead right now. Ronald Jones is a guy I couldn't get on, and people were trying to FOMO me out of it.
I got one selection.
Yeah, and I was like, do I take him? And I took him once, and I was like, I took him like 2 or 3 times, and I hated it every time I took him.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. And even if he went to like a place where he could like legitimately start, I feel like he gets a couple of carries, and then they see that he's not worth it, and then kick him back out.
I wonder what it is, because he had those hot games for a minute, right? Like,
yeah. Ish.
Let's see who else is on the board. How do you feel about Baker Mayfield? I see you don't have many of them.
You know, he's got 3%. It was more because I didn't know where he was going to play. It wasn't going to be in Cleveland.
I mean, do you actually like him as a quarterback? I don't think he's good.
I think he was hurt last year.
What about the year before? And the year before that, though, like he was
a top 10. I think he was a top 15 quarterback at least.
But then, I guess I don't know. I just feel like there's no upside with the guy. I feel like Carson Wentz is a much better fantasy quarterback than Baker Mayfield is.
I agree. I can agree with that.
Like, I look at it and go, like, what games are we getting spike weeks out of him? Right? I just don't think there's any.
Yeah. Obviously, my main guy in the late rounds is always Zach Wilson. So that was who I was getting. I've been getting a lot of Mariota lately.
I have to admit, I have to admit I should be grabbing more Mariota. I don't like Mariota.
I don't care for him either, but he's got a decent floor.
Yeah, he's got a solid floor. And I have to admit that's on me for not taking him these days.
Yeah. I messed up on BBM3 for not taking him. I just didn't, I don't know.
But here's
he could easily be Ryan Tannehill from a couple years ago because he's got like good weapons.
He's always, yeah, that's true. But he has a worse line. His line's really bad.
But does that help or hurt?
Helps him run, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a goofy team.
This is a weird team, but hey, you never know. You legit never know.
But here's the thing: we got the values, right? You got a lot of interesting bye weeks. So you're not hard on the bye weeks. Dang, 118 drafts.
Well,
close.
It's completed. I can't do anymore.
You're 150.
The rest are slow. Yeah.
Oh, snaps. All right.
So let me pull on the board. It's a little bit easier for me to see it. All righty. So we went. Sorry for the people. I will tell it one more time. I messed up. I put this on Twitter and Twitch and forgot to put it on YouTube. So that's my bad. So we went Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown, Mike Williams, Rashad Bateman, DK Metcalf, Darnell Mooney, Dalton Schultz, DK Prescott, Dak Prescott, Antonio Gibson, Darrell Henderson, Jahan Dotson, Kenneth Gainwell, Khalil Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, Trey Sermon, Jeff Wilson, Carson Wentz. I think we're gonna easily win wide receiver here. Only one of the team win.
If we don't, everyone's losing this year.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
let me rename this
receiving team.
I'll rename it on my phone. It'll be easier for me. So again, a bit of a boomer.
So something I was going off of that I think that a lot of people don't understand when we talk about like best ball is what the goal of best ball is, and it's to, this sounds stupid, put up the most points per week, right? Yes. So as much as I would love to go hard 3 RB, I feel like if you do that, you're not putting up the most points. I feel like what you're doing is you're stagnating a lot of points, which will help you advance, but I feel like you're eating a lot towards the end. So I've had to pivot a lot this year to get these like guys like AJ Brown and Mike Williams more often, DK Metcalf a lot more often, like the 6'3" guys and whatnot, right? The sprinters. God, you got to get a lot of those. And I also like the fact that you took a lot of your stands, right? I like seeing guys with 40% exposure. And I know a lot of the best ball bros would give us crap for that. But the secret to high advance rate is having stands.
I agree. Well, how do you build a DFS slate? You have a core set of players that you think are going to do well. You don't spread your exposures all the way through a whole DFS slate. I mean, I guess you can, and you can potentially get lucky. But what you do is you narrow it down. You make a smaller circle, and you get the guys you like, and then you pair it with different people.
Yeah. And I see that a lot, man. Like, I was talking to somebody about this, and they were asking, like, how do you do best ball well? And I was telling them, like, just taking stands. And there's someone that had a book, and I'm not going to make fun of them, but they're like, buy our book. We had a 32% advance rate. We'll give you the secrets. And I literally want to be like, page 1, take a stand, move on. Like, right? Like, that's it. That's how you get these 30% advance rates. You don't roster build and take the field to get 30%. You take the field, you're getting the average.
Exactly.
Like, you have to take a stand to get high advance rates, right? Like, and
because if you went the field, you're going to get an 8% advance rate, which you're already facing the field, and then you're going to be probably in the same lineup. You have to get first of that end of that lineup. It's like it's tough. You got to have a lot of shots into those, in my opinion.
Yeah, and at the same time, a lot of the guys that you're taking are fading. Dude, like they suck. Like, I mean, last year I had 11% Cooper Kupp, 11% Robert Woods. Yeah. And I liked Cooper Kupp more than like Woods, but I was like, well, I gotta hedge myself. I gotta take both, right? I hated myself. I would rather have 22% Robert Woods and get it wrong, and then have an alternate universe where I got 22% Cooper Kupp and destroyed.
Right? I had 80% Kupp last year.
Oh God, you basically won in your leagues then.
Yeah. And I had 80% Kupp, and then I was drafting him around early. So I was drafting him so I could get Chris Godwin because they were like back to back.
Yeah.
So I would go 3rd round Cooper Kupp, 4th round Godwin, 5th round Jamar Chase. So like 90% of my leagues were of that combination.
God, you basically advanced every single time.
Which is why I had like a 50% advance rate. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you write a book and it's just gonna say, to have high advance rates, just take your stance, right? Like, if someone tells you that the way to advance is like exactly building a 3-5-7-3. Then that's just the most ambiguous shit ever, right? Like, it's like, what does that mean to me? It's
right.
Like, no, it increases your odds a few percentiles because there is certain builds better than others. I can sit there and point to you and say, hey, man, 5 tight end builds are not good, right? But it's taking stands on the right players, and it sounds stupid, but I laugh about it every single time. Every year you see these guys that come out and they're like, this is how you get a good advance rate, and it's like the answer is just taking a stand.
Is to get the best play. And it sounds stupid, but drafting good players. And sometimes people are drafting potentially good players, but and you also have to run lucky. And I obviously, Kupp could have gotten hurt, torn ACL randomly, and I would have been dead in a lot of leagues, but I ran hot,
I mean, it happens, right? Like, and that's why I said, you said it earlier, the ADPs is what kills us all the time. I remember last year I was like, well, I liked Debo a ton. I liked Kupp a ton. I hated Jamar Chase. I'm not gonna say that I knew every good pick, right? I was and I'm like, well, I wish I would have just taken more of those guys instead of hedging across the field. because I've done it in the past when we used to have drafts, the original UD. I took, I think 1 year, I took like 100% CMC round 2 and 100% Todd Gurley another year. And I literally dominated back-to-back years. Because those were the years they both broke out.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just dominated. Or I took like 100% Eric Ebron when he had Andrew Luck. And I just plummeted my way through, all the leagues. And that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're eating it now.
If you're not trying to win it and you're just trying to be advancing 1 or 2 teams, then I don't think this is like the right game for you. You know what I mean? I'm trying to win the whole thing and have all of my team. If it was possible, have 150 teams go into the playoffs. Highly unlikely, but you never know.
When do you like to do all your drafts? I know you drafted 1,100 teams, which tells me you drafted basically the entire time.
Yeah. Since when did they throw out the big board? Like February, March?
Yeah.
Let's
talk about for actual season. So let's say BBM. When did you start drafting BBM?
The second it opened.
How many teams did you draft?
I think I drafted 10 or 12 that day.
Okay.
And then it was pretty much I drafted 1 here and there. I try to get on with streamers because the way I like the players that I like go really well with the players that they like. Like if I get into a ship chasing room or one of those types of rooms, it's perfect for me because I love running backs and I feel like I have a better talent evaluation of receivers for like later on that I don't have to worry about those kind of things.
Yeah, you see Derek's comment. That's great. That cracks me up because I actually tell my wife this all the time. I tell my wife that if I ever had the chance to win something and I had to work a job, I'd be a Walmart door greeter. I'd just be like the best Walmart door greeter of all time. Like I would take it too serious. I would overdo it, and and I want them to talk shit to me and be like, "Oh, that's all he can do." Yeah. I guess I'm a millionaire in the background, like lolly guy.
It's dangerous though, man.
I can get fired because I don't give a shit. That's why, I can overdo it.
It is tough to go to work sometimes, man. It is tough. These past couple months, there'd be a couple days I'm like, do I just quit and just try to do this full time? Like, I don't know.
No, I could never. I'm not that good. I think I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And every year I'm learning a little bit more. But man, I was upset last year when I got knocked in the semis. Semis is always my
semis were tough, man. Semis were tough because I had 13. I'm like, what if I get all 13 through?
You know what's funny?
And I got my worst team went through.
I had 5 teams that were in semis for BBM2. I almost maxed it, and they were all second place teams. I think one of them wasn't. But this year, if you're second place,
is this advance?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Top 2 of every single bracket. So the final bracket will be 500 people instead of the smaller amount. So, if I max out this year, and I'm taking more stands, I pivoted off of that, and it ate me. I was drinking the Kool-Aid about how to be better when I figured out that I was ahead of the curve on my own terms.
I think we are, yeah. I think stands is ahead of the curve. And it stands in a smart way. Not in a smart way, but don't go 100% on a player just because you want to go 100% on a player. You see an outlook where he's not going where he probably should be going. You think that next year he could easily be in a higher position.
Yeah. I know that someone talked about last year, and it was actually Eagles. He was saying that him and a few others were like, I don't want to draft this early. I don't want to take this high percentage because I had J.K. Dobbins last year, and he got ACL torn. So, the answer is so what? What if he didn't, and he was, you got him in the 4th round, and then he ended up being RB, 9 on the season. It's always a possibility. I
had Robert Tonyan on the team that won. I had Robert Tonyan. So I was practically a one tight end the entire way through. You can still win if you lose a player.
Yeah, you can lose multiple players. I was looking at Liam's team, and I tell everyone this all the time. The funny thing about Liam's team is how bad it was, and it won. And not to say they drafted back.
No. Especially because he said he drafted it in June. That was a decent team in June.
Yeah. It was a solid team when you're drafting it. And it was even I would say it's a solid team up into draft day, right? Yeah. But that team missed on every possible chance it could have missed, right? It missed on the 2nd round pick, the 3rd round pick, the 6th round pick, the 8th round pick, 10th, 11th.
He didn't have any winners on there.
Yeah. His 2nd round pick was Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones was good for advancement, but he sucked in the playoffs. Absolutely blew, right? Amari Cooper did nothing. He had Tyler Boyd. He had Chase Claypool. He had all these guys that blew ass at their pick. And he wins. He won with half his team. Like, come on. Like, you're worried about J.K. Dobbins, like the one time. No, you lost because you had other players that didn't do as well. It definitely hurts to not have your 4th and 5th round pick. But tell it to other guys who had Chase Claypool last year. They didn't have their 6th round pick all season, basically. Jerry Jeudy. I had Jerry Jeudy on like 18% of my team.
I had a lot of Jerry Jeudy.
And it fucking sucked. And I still had advancement, right? Cortland Sutton sucked. There was a lot of guys that just blew, but I think pointing to one person and saying like that's why I don't take stands. It's kind of
I should be the reason why you do take stands though, because I literally hit the stone nuts. I advanced like 50% in my teams, and like the team that won it was like almost like I don't know if you could have had a better team put together.
I don't think so. Short of having extra Debo on your team, that would have been it. I remember looking at your tweets laughing when they were like, oh my God, I'm so fucked because I have Zach Wilson. But here's the thing.
I was going through it. Like when you have so many percent of somebody, you're going through the emotions.
But I know you're not a bad drafter, so you're not taking Zach Wilson as a 2 QB'er. But there was somebody out there that was 76% Zach Wilson, and he was taking him as a 2 QB'er. And I was like, well, that's what you get. Like, you took Zach Wilson as your 2nd quarterback and went with it, and that was it. Yeah. That's on you. You're going to go through, you're going to die. Like you're gonna get,
and that's I wasn't like solely relying on Zach Wilson. I just have a lot of Zach Wilson because his playoff schedule is just so juicy. So juicy, man. Like there's not a single player that I was very like excited for. I was kind of hoping that he had like out for 2 months, and I'm like comes back in November, he gets his feet underneath him, and he's coming back for the playoffs. And it's like in my head, that's what I wanted. But
I'm trying to look at my exposure right now. My exposure is almost done. I'm almost 700 drafts in this year. I'm not close as you, and I'm definitely not close to James. But let's see.
My exposures on certain players are just kind of ridiculous to some people. And I'll say I have a bankroll that I can kind of take even crazier stands. I feel like.
I mean that's fine though. I mean if people that are drafting this early are probably watching film or collecting stats, doing research. It's not like, it's not like, John at work that's like, well, I discovered Underdog yesterday and I'm going to spend $2,000 on drafts in June. Right? No, like the guys who are drafting now are like the guys that actually give a shit about basketball. The guys who give a shit about football in April, May, June, July. Yeah. So why not take advantage of it? It's like, why are you doing all this research? Why are you following all this camp if you're not going to draft? Right. What's the fucking point? You might as well go talk to your wife. Go talk to your wife then at this point. If you're not going to draft, you're just wasting time. Go do something else. Be productive. So yeah, my exposures, and you're going to laugh. It's 46% DK Metcalf. He's probably going to move to 50. 40% Nico Collins. I think he's going to stay at 40. Yeah. I've been on him since last year. I hate it. I hate my life. Pat Fryermuth at 34%, and that's me taking a hit on him on those ADPs. Yeah. 31% on Saquon. 30% on Marlon Mack. 30% Brandon Ayuk.
That Ayuk though, he's popular in this room. I tell you much. Like I've been on board, and there's a few guys in here that love Ayuk.
It's 30% Damian Harris, 28% KJ Osborne, 27% Carson Wentz.
I didn't have that much Wentz. That's crazy.
I have ridiculous amounts of Carson Wentz, and then you're gonna laugh at this one. Austin Hooper is 27%.
That's not bad.
I laugh about Austin Hooper too. It's just like he had a good career when he was a Matt Ryan. The minute he goes to Baker Mayfield, it goes down. Let's say it's not Baker. The minute he goes to the Browns, where they don't produce any 1,000-yard receivers besides 1 year Jarvis Landry. I'm surprised. Maybe it's the Browns. Yeah, it's their fault. So we'll see. Your stands are a lot higher though. I think you have way more 40% standards than I do.
Yeah.
People give me shit for mine, and I'm like seeing yours, and I'm like, oh no, apparently
in the BBM3 alone, we'll just do that one. We won't talk about the other ones.
We don't talk about the other guys.
Well, it's fairly similar, but some of the pre-draft ones were pretty kind of crazy. Nico Collins 65%, Najee 60%, Joshua Palmer 53%, Dawson Knox 49%, Zach Wilson 47%. So it's all come down some already. So that's nice.
It went down. It went down from 55 to 47.
It was at 67 at one point. Like I know it was like in the 70s, and it went down to 60s, and I guess it's already down to 47.
Okay.
Amon-Ra 44%.
Oof, that's a lot of Amon-Ra.
I love ASB. Again, he won me a million. A lot of bias.
So, okay, I guess my question for you is, what do you see Amon-Ra doing by end of year? What numbers are you looking at by end of season?
Probably.
Let's say Swift and Hawkinson and DJ
90
Shark.
catches, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, somewhere around there.
Do you think that produces the guys in that field? Rashad Bateman, Metcalf, Darnell Mooney.
Well, I have a lot of Bateman too, so Mike, there's a lot of that pairing for me. And the my next person was Elijah Moore. See, I don't like Allen Robinson. Well, it's not that I don't like him. I just don't like what he did last year. And I don't know if he just like quit on the team because it wasn't going well.
Yeah.
And if Matt Stafford, if this elbow thing is serious at all, like if it's Wolford or whatever the backup quarterback is, does he just quit again? Or
he was getting boned on contract, actually. That's why he kind of hated the team. They weren't giving him a contract extension. And to be fair, when you're a 29 to 30-year-old receiver, and let's say you get injured,
save yourself,
that's so. It wasn't that the team was bad. It was the team was bad, but it was like they weren't taking him seriously. And I don't, as much as I usually want to crap on guys for doing that kind of stuff, I also don't blame him because he might not see a contract. There's a chance he couldn't have seen a contract, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit different, but I don't disagree with you. I think you're right. That kind of does suck.
It just kind of scares me away from him, and I'd rather get.
Yeah, he quit. He quit on his team.
Yeah,
that is scary.
For those kind of things. Then finish up with my last few. Mike Williams at 41%.
Okay.
Hawkinson 39. Singletary 38. Madison
35. 38.
Yeah. Well,
I like that.
I'm making a huge bet just on the Bills' offense, like just being good, and I just I want a piece or two on every team. It doesn't have to be a full stack. Just want a piece or two. And I like having a piece of that last game in the finals. There's something about like I want it on that last play by Najee Harris, and it's like I want to have that little bit of a hope on a last. On a team.
I mean, I don't have anything against those guys. Like I always laugh about Singletary because everybody kind of wants him to die off.
I know,
but he's been relevant.
Yeah,
he's sneaky relevant. He's sneaky relevant for a guy that's going like dead late. You know, as a running back, that's a starter.
That is a known starter right now. And
I mean,
Dalvin Cook could take over, or not Dalvin Cook, James Cook. He can easily take some carries, but I still think that they would have Dalvin there, Singletary there. Dalvin's on my brain. And then Gabe 35, and I will just end it with Garrett Wilson at 34. There's a lot of. I like the talent of Garrett Wilson.
But do you think he's in a role to start good this year though? That's the only reason I don't take him.
Again, he's not like my number one, like my top three, right? Like he's never going to be one of my first three in my head, like my starters. But that playoff schedule come late. Who do you want? Who do you think was going to be blowing up those last few weeks? And it's typically the younger guys. And if the Jets are kind of out of it, who do they want to see? Do they want to see Corey Davis, or do they want to see what they got with Wilson? You know, like who are they going to put on the field more?
I think the Jets, and I think that's a good point. I don't think the Jets are going to be playing for anything. I think the Dolphins and the Bills are too good, right? But what I do see is that advancement, I think Corey Davis gives you the edge.
Yeah.
Playoffs, I think Garrett Wilson gives you the edge because it's at the end of the year. But Corey Davis is one of those guys that's like he's
kind of always there.
He's better as a 3 or a 2 than he is a 1, right? Like he's a monster when you don't want to look at him. Like Kendrick Bourne, we were talking about Kendrick Bourne, right? Nelson Aguilar, Van Jefferson, these guys that like, he caught a touchdown for 60 yards. Like, I hate you. You know, because I could have been my Elijah Moore. They could have been Garrett Wilson, right? But it's going to be Corey Davis against the Seahawks at week 17, right? Like, That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's another thing. I have a lot of Jets in general, and I'm not a Jets fan, obviously, but I guess I am this year, kind of. But
seem like it at this point.
Because I have a little bit of Braxton Berrios. I got a mild amount of Michael Carter. So
yeah, that's how I feel with that. Like
they're going to be down in a lot of games. Their defense isn't great right now.
Yeah, I think that's good. Honestly, I think that only many teams are talking about right now is Joe Burrow's success. I think has entwined a lot of teams this year, right? Like it has got a lot of teams that we might see a lot of 3 wide receiver sets.
I agree.
Like Kirk Cousins, Zach Wilson, Carson Wentz. Those are 3 teams, 3 quarterbacks on 3 separate teams where they might hell even those are new ones, right? But let's talk about the Rams, where you just see 3 wide receivers out there. You just see 3 good receivers. Mm-hmm. Good being the word apprehended, right? Apprehensively, right. But maybe this is an air raid season. Maybe we get a lot of 3s that blow the fuck up, right? Like we talk about.
It does feel like this is going to be the big season of receivers. In my head.
Curtis Samuel, KJ Osborne, Josh Palmer, Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne. All these 3s, are going to be out there air raiding possibly.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, oh shoot.
Jets will need a loss week 17 to lock in a 1-1 and throw up 45 against the Seahawks. All right.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I would pay good money for like the nuts week from that, because I have a ton of exposure to the Jets.
So do I.
Jets Seattle.
I have that and the Detroit Chicago game. I have a lot of Herbert, I guess, on the Chicago side, but I have a lot of Amon-Ra, as we heard. Jameson, I have a lot of. Hawkinson, I have quite a bit of.
Huckinson's fun to have. I think he's underdrafted.
I agree. He was going in the 40s, 50s in the preseason draft.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
He is absolutely slept on. I don't know what he did. He must have fucked somebody's mom. I have no idea. Because he's going to pick 90 to 100, and he had a good season last year. Yeah. So last year, my favorite build was bully tight end, but not stupid bully tight. I wasn't doing like Travis Kelce, Darren Waller. I was doing a lot of Andrews, Goddard, Andrews, Hawkinson.
Yeah, I had a lot of. I did things. I did that. I did Hawkinson, and I was doing a lot of like Andrews and Knox.
Yeah. Dude, they contributed almost every week. Even when Hawkinson was kind of bad, he still outperformed the average tight end. And yes, he got injured right before playoffs, but like from a tight end standpoint, he was giving you like 8 to 12 points a week or something. Yeah. So like he was relevant to his position for where he was going. But people acted like he just was bad. But he was bad for a 5th round pick, but he wasn't bad for his tight end role.
Yeah,
I don't know. I felt like he kind of got a bad,
I agree with you, Derek, by the way.
Year. Huh?
He has Jets, Seattle, Detroit, Chicago. That's a guy.
Chicago. That's a scary one to have. Yeah. I like it, but at the same time, I don't like it because
I know
I don't trust Justin Fields right now. I really don't.
I just think those defenses on both sides are just like all 4 of those defenses are like going to be bottom 4 of the league, and it's like. And I know that everybody's targeting the Kansas City Denver game, but it's like those defenses isn't like, at least on Denver side, is pretty good.
They're both pretty good.
It's like, KC got Eric Reed back, and got rid of Tyron, which might help actually. So I'm not trying to like overexpose myself to that game. Like I like some of the pieces from that game. I like Javonte, obviously.
But that's literally like the same exact team though. Like everyone's doing. I think if you're going that route. And this is my issue I have with that team. It's the weapons kind of suck on Broncos with the quarterback, right? Like,
I agree.
I think Courtland Sutton's going to have a monster. I think Courtland Sutton's going to be a wide receiver too. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
But like, what has Jerry Jeudy done? Right? What excuse are we giving Jerry Jeudy this year? Teddy Bridgewater was supposed to be good with them, right? He was injured though, but okay. But Tim Patrick was still outperforming him. Both back-to-back years, Tim Patrick outperformed Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson doesn't throw the ball like
across the middle really too much.
He's not that much of a passer. I think he liked to pass last year, or just in general. I think he's overconfident. That man throws a lot of interceptions out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that offensive line not great.
But no. Here's the thing: though. The offensive line is good enough for a run game.
their pass offense, I should say,
yeah.
It's not
like,
good.
They're going to end up being a team that runs the ball like way more than people are expecting. Like that's why Javonte and Melvin Gordon and Mike Boone, dude. I wouldn't be surprised whenever every time they get to goal line, they're just like, all right, dude, we're just gonna go run it back to back. You think this team is gonna have like 35 passing touchdowns? You're fucking high.
No, I agree.
Like, I don't know why everyone keeps drafting like Russell Wilson like he's gonna do. I wrote an article about this last year. Like Russell Wilson's career year was the year before last year, and it required like him outperforming things that a 30-something-year-old quarterback shouldn't be doing, which is like rushing more, being ridiculously more efficient, having his weapons break off for more efficiency. It's just like the craziest shit. And I look at the weapons now, and I don't think they're better than DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
I agree.
Yeah.
If anything, they're a little bit below. They might be on par, but they might be a little bit below.
Like they're below, and they're not going to be playing from behind. This defense is stout, dude.
Yeah.
This defense is literally going to be game managed city. Like they're going to sit there, run the ball 25 times. They're also going to be doing like
Dennis,
like a lot of like goal line junk. Everyone here's Ayuk. Good. We're high
on Ayuk. Kendrick Bourne. I'm trying to think of a lot of these guys draft exactly like I do. That's why it's like we like
this echo chamber. We're going to be jerking each other off. So
it's nice to have like an outside, and I have an outside opinion.
No, I do. I have so much Ayuk. I was drafted the minute Jimmy G was no longer the quarterback, and I knew this was coming in. I was like, Jimmy G is not the quarterback.
There's no way there's no way that Jimmy G was going to be the quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I was a little slow on the uptick to draft Trey Lance because I was already like. I was going heavy QB early, like having my two starters early in the off season before like training camps and stuff.
Yeah,
because I knew I could get values at running back and receiver like later. Because what was my thought process was like, what's going to move up? It's not going to be quarterbacks and quarterbacks. It's going to be the running backs and wide receivers that move his.
No, that makes sense. That makes 1,000% sense on that one. I agree with that.
So there'd be times where I'd get like a Herbert. Allen, like a couple rounds apart, but it's like I knew that if I set it up in a certain way, I could still stack both teams.
I just remember laughing because someone was, I think it was like, they were like, Jimmy G, Trey Lance is going to be the next Jordan Love. And I was like, so you're telling me that you think Jimmy G's Aaron Rodgers? Like, you think like Jimmy G's a Hall of Famer, therefore the first round pick they took isn't worth your time. Like, that's what you were telling me. And no one answered the question back with, I believe he's Aaron Rodgers. Like, yeah. Are we kidding me? Like,
he's Alex Smith. He's Alex Smith.
Yeah. Alex Smith is better.
Oh,
Jimmy
yeah.
G is like,
there's no Jimmy G's out there, man.
No, Jimmy G is like it's like, I would say like early KC Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but post Alex Smith, like the last year of KC and going into Washington, that Alex Smith was amazing. He was so much fun to watch. He was taking deep shots. He was rushing more.
He was solid for sure.
He was there. But the Jimmy G is the opposite. He regressed after injuries, right? Yeah. He was like, hey, man, anything above 8 yards, no thank you. Throwing to my right where Ayuk is, no thank you. Like, these are just things I don't do anymore, guys. Like, I can't, right? Like, you ever see that video on YouTube? It's like Ayuk is always open.
No, I haven't seen that.
You should Google it. It's the funniest fucking YouTube video. Like when you after this, everyone needs Ayuk. Just go Google the video. It's like 6 months old. It's like Ayuk is always open, or like, and it's the funniest shit to watch. You'll literally see like Ayuk just like out there like breaking people off, and then like Jimmy G's like, aha, Debo for 5 yards. Just chuck it. It's absolutely shit. It's like,
well, he was missing a lot of open throws, like, and it wasn't like hard throws. I mean, it was like he missed like 7 yards. It was like me trying to throw a football pass. It's not going to happen that well.
You ever see the touchdown he threw where he threw it to the wrong guy and he got a touchdown?
Yeah. That's that's like one of the ones that came to my brain.
Yeah. Screen share the video. Let's watch it. I mean, we could, I guess. We got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Up to you, Felix.
Let's see if we pull it up.
It's the funniest shit, though. It's like Brady Ayuk is always open. It's like the stupidest video. You literally just see him running around. And then like Jimmy G is just like, nah, man. No, thank you. I'm going to go somewhere else. It's the worst.
Is it a 3 minute, 23 second video?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Another funny thing to think about too is I was doing the stat lines in Jimmy G versus Ayuk. Sorry, Jimmy G versus Trey Lance. Trey Lance almost threw more deep passes than Jimmy G did last year. And Trey Lance only played like 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm not even shitting you. He literally almost threw more deep shots than Jimmy G did. Yeah, proof that wide receiver is almost always open.
All right, well, full screen it because
there's the fact that somebody made a video just like blatantly proved like it was just the funniest shit. You can't make this up.
Sure. What band do you consider buy from? I have never heard any of those. None of the above.
You don't buy from Nordstrom? You're not a Nordstrom guy?
There's no Nordstroms out here.
This is so funny though. Yeah, it's just like this guy. I was like, he highlights it too. It's great.
Oh man. Just throw it.
No, he's not though. Like he's Jimmy G. They do Jimmy G things. It's literally one of the great. So anyone tells you that they don't think Ayuk's gonna do well because of Doghouse? Yeah, sure, he had Doghouse last year. We all know this.
Yeah.
But he made some bonehead errors, but he wasn't actually bad.
He threw it like before the route even started.
He didn't even bother looking. I should have not even ran routes. He should have just.
He really should have. Some of these
should have been on the phone.
Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oh no.
I'm Jimmy G. I'm gonna throw under. Like, dude,
that's crazy.
So it's very apparent how little this guy threw to him. It's the funniest video. I love this thing.
Oh man, this guy one-on-one coverage, play action. He's inside, and he's dirty. Yeah, he was not patient with throwing the ball.
No, it's just bad. The thing is, like, you can tell that like it just gets worse.
Yeah,
because you start to really see like how open he is.
Yeah,
and, like a really good QB would have just taken it. Here we go.
Thank God. Jawan Jennings, gotta get that guy. Yep, open.
Look at it. It's like the guy in the check down. It's so bad.
Jimmy G would have been almost like useful if he would just thrown it to Ayuk. Nice play action. Oh yeah, got him turned and everything. Triple coverage. Kyle Juszczyk.
I'm telling you, man. Like this is like my favorite video. It's if I ever have to say like why I think Ayuk might just ball out, it's like because Trey Lance loves starting him.
Even if that, like, even if, oh my goodness, that was embarrassing for him. Oh, I wish this would be like represented when he gets his like first pass. All right, he's open.
Look how open he is.
Yeah, that was a little tough because he was under pressure, but like he was so open.
But still, like,
yeah.
The fact that at some point you should be like, hey, I should start looking his way.
And the thing with Lance is that he's gonna like escape the pocket and look downfield. Yeah, oh my God! If you would just wait like 2 seconds. Was this all Seattle?
This is all Seattle for now. I think there's more.
Okay.
So you better give it to the 3 guys that are around him.
Yeah. 4th and 3. Guys playing outside leverage. Since he has help. And he still beat him. Oh, man.
I don't even know he threw the ball that time.
That was not great. Stop sharing. Bring us back on.
It's bad. Like, if you actually go through it, though, there's like other people who post like, it's like, hey, look how open he is. Like,
yeah.
That was 120 yards not given to Ayuk.
Yeah, like he could have dominated that game. Hey, G, I'm open. It's not your turn.
It's bad. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I kind of feel about it, and that's it. I don't know much to say on the Ayuk anymore besides that I have 30%.
Yeah.
I've been overly drafted him, and I'm okay with it. Trey Lance, like I said, the stat line that I pulled up, I thought that was just the funniest. That Trey Lance almost threw more deep shots than Jimmy G did when he only played like 1.5 games.
Yeah.
Jimmy G had a full season.
And the fact that he can run does open up a lot of stuff with that offense. Like, it's going to open up different routes, and it's going to like – and if he's winning in those kind of routes already. Like, who knows? Like all these deep shot, like the Danny Gray. I'm a little late to Danny Gray. Like I had shares of him, but I was like 100% sure. It's like that trio of receivers is going to ball out this year.
I have a lot of naked Jimmy. Jennings still does his role there, but I'll take either. At this point, like I don't mind backdooring any of these guys.
I agree because you don't know, maybe injury. You never know. You can't predict injuries, and
I think Trey Lance is a little expensive at the moment though. Like you're talking pick 75 where Ayuk is, right? Like you're deciding between the quarterback or a stud receiver, and we know this that like quarterback is very deep, and you can get away with 3 random quarterbacks than you can with. A second year guy that we don't know will actually be a good passer. Like if I had to take a second year guy that I think can really jump his ADP, you're thinking like Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah,
like
and obviously I was on Zach, but
Zach Wilson.
I have cooled my jets.
But I mean, at like pick 180, anyways, that wasn't
still not
bad.
Yeah,
right?
it still isn't bad.
Tua is another guy.
I've been throwing him on a lot of my 3 quarterback, like even more 3 quarterback builds now.
Yeah, and now that Michael Thomas is back to like Jameis Winston, like sign me up for all those guys.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it has been a extreme pleasure having you on, man. It has been a blast. I apologize to everybody that was here waiting for a YouTube channel to start, but I will throw up a VOD of this back on there so you can watch it from start to end on and hear me say, usually my crew's here. I know Polly Chips, I know Derek, Dennis, and D-Weiss are usually here, but we'll throw that back up on there later.
Thanks for having me on, man. It was a good time. And dude, you're a champion. You won, right? And to be fair, I told you before, I think DraftKings is harder because bonuses, because like PPR.
There's so much more you have to plan for, man. Yeah.
It's a lot more to play around. So I play on a ton of UD, but I will say that if I don't think I would ever get close to winning the draft champions. I try DraftKings because I don't calculate for PPR. PPR is so much different than half and standard. Half PPR is closer to standard than anything.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different ball game. So congrats on winning, man. It's good shit.
I'll definitely have you on next year. Drafts are coming to an end, and well, if you're interested, we'll have you back on. And this is awesome.
You should have Eagles here for the playoff because he's the playoff champion.
He's an absolute stud. I'm jealous of him for that ring. But it's been great, man. It was a good night. We missed story time. We'll have story time next time. I won't be here tomorrow. I will be back on Sunday. So I will see you guys later. It has been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Bye.